All right, guys, let's connect today. Super Bowl Sunday, February 11th, 2024, coming at you for our live stream for the next hour. We'll be talking about The Walking Dead, my book series. Got an update on my final edit, and hopefully it'll be out in a couple weeks. But we're doing good, guys. Hopefully you're safe and sound. What's going on with you? Let me know your thoughts. Post your comments below. Top chat, super chat, all that stuff is welcome. Hopefully you are excited for today, Sunday, February 11th, Super Bowl Sunday. And we're 2 weeks away, guys. 2 weeks away from the return of Rick Michonne. So I have not seen any of the interviews. I know there was recently a, I don't even know what you call it, sneak peek opening of the first episode with the press tour. Denai Guerrera, Andy Lincoln, Scott Gimple, Terry Quinn, all these people except Pollyanna McIntosh, who plays Jadis. She was not there because she's filming something else, so she could not be there. But a bunch of the cast was there. A bunch of the people supporting Denai and Andy and Scott and everybody else. A lot of previous cast members and actors were there to watch the episode, and pretty cool stuff. I haven't seen the interview. I know there's an interview going around with Andy and Denai with the guy from comicbook.com, and they talk about some things and they talk about stuff. I haven't seen it yet. I've been super busy this past week, and it's tough when you got a 40-hour work week job. Got my book series trying to do, get back to the gym, working out, getting back to, mental health, physical health, mind, body, and soul, and everything there too. And but we're 2 weeks away, and I know there's a lot of talk about a lot of stuff. And let me actually read something. I know I took a screenshot of one of the things that people were saying. So about the ones who live, everything to know, from a TV Guide article. The Ones Who Live shows where they've been in the intervening years. Michonne linked up with some members of a nomadic caravan who became her friends and helped her on her journey. Meanwhile, Rook has been with the Civic Republic, a large community in what used to be Philadelphia that keeps its members behind walls. After several failed escape attempts, he's described to embrace becoming a member of the Civic Republic military, an organization that has made mysterious appearances in shows across the Walking Dead universe while he prepares for the next shot at freedom. During one of his escape attempts, Rick does something that's a remix of an important moment from the comics. It never happened to him on the show, but fans will be excited to see how it happens in The Ones Who Live. There's already rampant speculation online, especially here, about something terrible happening to Rick at the release of the trailer. And we've been saying that for a long, long time. We won't spoil it here, but Lincoln did allude to it during the panel. In the first 3 or 4 minutes of a whole series, there is something truly horrific that happens, he said, compared it to the shocking and horrifying opening minutes of The Walking Dead's pilot, where Rick shoots a zombified little girl in how it establishes an intense tone for the whole show. Nice little excerpt there from the panel that I haven't seen. But, okay, so in the first 3 to 4 minutes, bang, we're ready. And that's what you need. You need that in a show. You need that in any kind of show. The Walking Dead, the opening is one of the best. It draws you in. It's like the cover art of a book. It's the blurb that you're going to draw in. It's the opening sequences of a song you're trying to listen to. It's something that you have to be in or out, or draw you in enough to see, hey, I want to see what else happens. What else happens here? You sparked my interest on there too. So thank you guys for being here. Let me know your thoughts. Post your comments below, all that good stuff. And top chat, live chat, super chats, all that good stuff. We truly appreciate it. This Super Bowl Sunday. So like I said, it is Super Bowl Sunday, February 11th, 2024, as we do this live stream. And who you got? Chiefs, 49ers, neither. Are you going to watch the game? Are you going to eat good food? Are you going to be around friends and family? Hopefully, if you got to work, it's not till It's before the game starts at 6:30. Probably won't start till a little after 6:30, I'm guessing, because you got to do this and that, and all the hoopla and everything. So the game probably won't be over till like 10:30, 11 o'clock. So like, would you rather have the game be on Saturday, or would you rather it be like 2 hours earlier on Sunday? Like, there's no reason that the game has to start at 6:30. Does it? Because I know it's in Vegas and it's here and it's there, but the Super Bowl usually starts at 6:30 wherever it's at, or around that time. I personally would love it on Saturday, because who cares if it ends at 11 o'clock on a Saturday? But if it's going to be on a Sunday, why not start it at 5:30 even? Give me an extra hour. But either way, that's how it goes. The other news that I think people are talking about that's kind of spreading all over the place is that the Daryl Dixon show has been greenlit for a third season. But like, we talked about that years ago. Like, I thought the word is that Daryl and Carol signed up for a show for at least 3 seasons. Okay, good. Confirmed. We've been saying that forever. The other thing is that The Ones Who Live may be more than 1 season. They're going to see how it goes, see what the ratings are, see what it is. That means they left it open. I think they left it open enough that it's kind of annoying then if they just left it open enough that it could be there for another season. Is it one of those things where it's like, okay, this is an ending, but if this is the way it ends, it's okay. But it doesn't answer any questions. It's not a true final finale ending. I don't know. So, but all the way, that's what we got here. My book series, Fight For Us, The End. 20th book, wrapping it up. It'll be out hopefully later this month. Before I came on, I just finished chapter 8 of my final edit. Hopefully, I'm going to start chapter 9 today. That'll be the halfway point because it's 18 chapters. And, I want to be around the halfway point now, and I'm trying to do stuff every day, even if it's a couple pages a day. It goes a long way, and I'm trying to finish it up. But I want to make sure it's done right. Like, as I was writing it, I was like, I could release it right now. But every time I say that, I find something that it's like a small error or a small thing or rewording stuff that just makes it better. And I'm like, I just want to make it right. It's the ending of this story, and I just want to make sure it's right. I already rushed the first book and the first couple books that I didn't take, the time to do it because I was excited about it, and, but live and learn, right? If I keep making the same mistakes, that's on me. But take my time, the final product. No one's going to care in a couple months or a couple years when it came out if it's not done right. Just got to make sure it's done right. Wilson, Q&A, if there is to be a second season for The Ones Who Live, why can't they just say, or are they not committed yet? They're not committed yet. They kept saying from the very beginning that it's a limited series. Limited this. We'll see what happens. It's 6 episodes. We'll see what it is. So, I don't know. I mean, at this point, it's all extra. It's all beyond the Walking Dead comic. It's all extra stuff. I don't think we're going to get all the reunions and all the stuff that we want to be in the first season. So that being said, I want it to be done into a second season of it. I don't need another show where they all come together to fight the CRM if it's enough that happens in the Rick and Michonne series in season 2. That can be where you bring people in on the second season of that. Or you don't, and then you have a smaller other season. Like just because it's The Ones Who Live has 1 season doesn't mean that's the end of Rick and Michonne. They can just go to another show, right? The title is arbitrary. Just like the Daryl Dixon show was supposed to be the Daryl and Carol show. Kind of was, kind of wasn't. But now Daryl Dixon season 2 is the Book of Carol. I don't know what that is all about, the Book of Carol. Carol's writing a book. But it is what it is. We do enjoy the connections, the storytelling, reunions, possibly flashbacks, callbacks, connections, Easter eggs, all that good stuff. And I'm hoping that the show is really good. I believe the word is that Denai Guerrera wrote the 4th episode, and a lot of the Milo's in the other room. He's in the sun as I make this live stream. He's rolling around and getting comfortable, and he's hopefully out. Hopefully he'll sleep now. But so hopefully The Ones Who Live is a great show, and he just moved as I said that. So, but Milo, that is. But hopefully The Ones Who Live is a good show, regardless of what it is, what happens. Let's not worry about season 2. Let's get the first 6 episodes done and see where it goes. Now, if the show is a success, which I hope it is, and I hope everybody enjoys it. I hope I enjoy it. I hope a lot of people enjoy exactly what's happening with the show. There's going to be enough people talking about it still, but is it enough? Is it going to be enough for, I don't know, the story? Is it going to be enough for the fans? You know, I know right now, as I make this, I believe this weekend is Atlantic Comic Convention or Atlantic Comic Con or whatever, and there's a lot of Walking Dead cast there. I believe John Bernthal was there, Norman Reedus was there, and you know, people got a bunch of pictures. There's one lady's got all these pictures with all these cast members, which is awesome. They have the Daryl bike there, and they have this there, and they have that. And so I hope there's enough people still supporting the Walking Dead cast, the Walking Dead people at conventions, the Walking Dead 2. I mean, it's probably far less than what it was, but we don't need 13, 14 million viewers. You know, if they get 5-6 million viewers, I think that's a win. That's a success, and I don't care. And I have no bearing on that. But I just hope it's pretty good too. So, what's up, Tim? What's up, everybody? So, thank you guys for being here, taking the time on this hopefully nice Sunday wherever you're at. Hopefully, it's warmed up a little bit. It's got a little warmer here in Tampa Bay. It's going to be a little warmer, then a little cooler, and then we'll have to see. We'll have to see too. So the big thing about it is. I'm hoping that people have success with the show and people do well, and the writing. It's really cool, though, that Andy Lincoln and Denai Guerrera are executive producers and actors. So they're like writing in it, they're producing it, hopefully they're writing it, and hopefully they're starring in it and they're involved in all aspects of it, that's how you make the real money. That's how you make the Sylvester Stallone money. You write it, you act in it, you produce it, you do everything you can in all these different hats, so then you're getting all this different extra revenue and all this different stuff too. And hopefully that's what's going to happen in future stuff shows. And I'm sure that's happening with Norman Reedus and you know the people that are still making the shows here, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, Lauren Cohan, all that stuff. Brian, Q&A, thoughts on Gimple saying he wants the epic crossover to have Rick Michonne? Yeah, I mean, we all want that, right? I mean, like, great Gimple, we all want that. Are you just trying to have some fan service? Like, I don't care what Gimple's, like, I don't care what anybody says at this point. Like, I'm caring about watching the show, seeing what happens, and we just go from there. It's just one of those things where I'm like, okay, I'll believe it when I see it. When it gets greenlit and the production starts, there we go. So next month, hopefully Dead City Season 2 starts rolling. Hopefully Daryl Dixon Season 3 starts rolling and filming. Hopefully other shows start filming, and hopefully we get all that good stuff. But take it with a grain of salt, and take it how it is too. John, did you see the WrestleMania 20 pre-show press conference? It's not as muscular, but no, I don't. Yeah, no, I don't. So with WrestleMania stuff, like I know John's my wrestling guy. I don't care about Roman Reigns at all. Like I hope Roman Reigns loses, retires, is done. Like he's not this great wrestler in my opinion. I don't care that The Rock showed up. I would rather have Cody Rhodes win the belt and just be the champion for the next whatever. You know, CM Punk just had elbow surgery, so he's out. We'll have to see what happens with Seth Rollins and this and that. But that's a big ask for a couple months away for someone to be recovering from surgery on there as well. But that's their own problems, and they got to keep rolling with it and see what they can do for WrestleMania 40. But I hope Cody Rhodes is a part of it. You know, a big part of it there too. So But like I said, if you did anyone go to the comic convention in Atlanta this weekend at all? Anyone from here? Anyone in here? But if so, I know a lot of people got some cool pictures, and I saw Michael Cutlets there, and he's got a bald head, basically a shaved head with a beard, and I know he was playing Lex Luthor in whatever show, but I don't know if he's still filming that, if he just kept it, if they have to keep filming for a while, like it's not done yet. But I was like, wow, look at Michael Cutlets looking real bald there. I watched a movie called Boys in the Boat. It's by, I want to say Robert Downey Jr., but it's George Clooney made that movie about the true story about the rowing team from the University of Washington that was in the Olympics. And it's a cool story. Like, I don't really care much about crew or rowing or whatever. That's not my world. That's not my life. But it's a good story. It's a good heartwarming story of, that team. And it's pretty cool. It's a good movie. They did a good job with it. George Clooney did a good job with it. And it's called The Boys in the Boat. It's pretty cool. We're still watching Succession. We're in season 3. And that show is like the same thing every season. Kendall versus Logan with Roman and Shiv and Tom and Greg and this and that, and who's going to run the company and who's going to do this, and Logan doesn't want to do this and that and go this, and they're against them, and this. And it's like the same thing. Like nothing happens in 3 seasons. It's the same stuff over and over and over and over and over and over again. So hopefully they have a big change and something pretty big happens, because we're still waiting for stuff, and it's funny and it's comical, and it's enough to keep watching. But I'm like, man, hopefully some major stuff happens towards the end of season 3 and the season 4 and the final season too. So Brian Cune, do you also think the war with the CRM has to be in the current timeline, not Dead City's timeline? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing with it. I don't know if they know what they're doing with it. I don't know if they know what they're doing with the timeline. Are they just like making it up as it goes, seeing what happens, keep making it up? Yeah, that's okay. Timeline, time jump. Because you would think if there was like a major war with the CRM and this and helicopters in Philadelphia or Pennsylvania, which is pretty close to New York, like it's not right there, but they would be talking about it. And like that would have been really cool if they set things up to be like, yeah, remember that military group that had a huge war? Man, I can't believe that was crazy. Simple line of dialogue like that. A simple line of dialogue, I heard Nebraska's nice. In season 2 of The Walking Dead, set up a whole other show. The World Beyond. A simple, simple lines of dialogue is there. We're the ones who live. That's a whole other show. Like a simple line of dialogue is all they're taking from it to go expand it. Yeah, I mean, I hope so. I don't care about the time. Again, I'm not trying to figure out this nonsense of a timeline and the fictional thing of it, because it's all over the place. At this stage of the game, if you're trying to follow along with the timeline, good luck to you. Like, I got other stuff going on to worry about a fictional timeline of a thing that I don't even think they know what they're doing. So, like, if they don't know, why should we know, right? I'm fine with the show where it is, and I like where the stuff is, and it's happening now too. Like the Daryl show was good. Dead City was good. The Rick and Michonne show is hopefully the best one yet. It's easy to do. Like, it's easy to have Rick and Michonne steal the show. Jadis involved. Major General Beale. CRM. New characters. New plots. New stuff. I'm like excited for it. And because I love both of the actors and characters, so we'll see what happens there too. Carol, what's up, Carol? Q&A, Bri, have you watched the new Mr. and Mrs. Smith? If not, I haven't. I know it's on Amazon. I know it's I always want to say it's Donald Glover is his name, right? And then the woman, I don't know who she is, but I have not seen it yet. Is it good? Is it fun? I like Donald Glover. I think he's good, but I don't know. Is it worth checking out? I haven't watched another show like that. Like, I watched just a couple things here and there. Like I said, we're still, wrapping up Succession as we go. Yeah, exactly. So Harder Nixie says you could have a show based on the wagon train that Negan's wife is on. So yeah, you can set up all these different things. Like, is that what season 2 or season 3 is going to be? Because I like that. I like that idea because, like, Annie, we want to know what happened with Annie. We want to know what happened with the New Babylon Marshals. We want to know some things. I don't think we need a whole show based on that stuff, but it would be a nice episode per se. But you never know. They could expand stuff. We want to know what, whatever that was. I want to say reclamation team too, but whatever the second thing was at the Commonwealth. It's just something that they could expand upon. But it has to be meaningful and impactful too. Lindsay says, yes, Donald Glover. Yeah, I want to say like Danny Glover, but I know he's the guy from Lethal Weapon. But Designation 2 or whatever. Yeah. So like I think that needs to be explained somewhat, somehow or some way or something, right? Like, I mean, they need to expand upon that. I mean, they don't have to, but I think they should. Brian asks, wouldn't a spin-off with all the OG characters? Yeah, we don't need all the OG characters. Yeah, we don't need everybody to come back. Like, enough of, like, just make a reference to Eugene at the Commonwealth. We don't need to see him. Just make a reference to these people at the Commonwealth. We don't need to see them. But talk about them. Reference them from time to time. You don't have to see them at all. So, James, hey, Bri, how are you doing? I'm excited about the Conjuring 4 movie. It's the final one. I haven't seen any of those movies, James. And I'm doing well. Hopefully you were doing well as well. But fun fact, I believe the guy who plays in the Conjuring movies, he was in Aquaman and Aquaman 2 and, whatever. The guy who's in it and what's the movie? The Watchmen. He's from St. Pete, and his brother is on the local news on Fox here in Tampa Bay. And he was talking about that because they were talking about the Conjuring and talking about that too. And I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. And then we watched the second Aquaman. He's got a pretty big part in that as well, which I thought was pretty cool right here in St. Pete, which is real close to where I live. So I'm like, I don't know how they're going to end it, the Walking Dead universe. I hope it's rewarding. I don't know. Does Major General Beale get away, live to fight another day, or he goes to another? Like, it's like, if you think about it, it's pretty ridiculous for Rick and Michonne's people to be able to take down the CRM, the biggest military outfit in the world, well, definitely in the United States, but in the world, the last light of the universe or whatever, the last light of the world, unless they have help. Like, they cannot do it alone. Just like anything in life, right? You can't do it alone. You need help. So they have to make friends. They have to make this. But I think the first season of The Ones Who Live should be a great, great, great start for the final ending of the Walking Dead universe. Like the Carol and Daryl stuff, whatever that is, okay, that's filler. Dead City stuff, totally filler. It's basically the Negan stuff, the Negan angle, which is fine. Unless they connect things and have this Fear the Walking Dead nonsense, World Beyond people should show up in The Ones Who Live. I'm not saying they will, but I believe they should, in my opinion, too. So, Selkie Seal, The Last of Us, hoping it doesn't go all woke. Strong characters and storytelling, please. I hope so, too, right? So Last of Us Season 2 is filming now, I believe. And I hope that it's better than the game. And I hope they do things in a way that sets up Season 3 and it's good and exciting. I mean, Joel is the guy. It's really Ellie, but Joel is our main character. And then in the second game, it's Ellie. Which I get it, but it was always Ellie all along and blah, blah, blah. But I don't know if some major things need to happen like they did in the video game the same way. But it's kind of weird if they change it, right? And I believe they were set up for a third game of The Last of Us. But either way, it's exciting. It's entertaining. And they have their cast now, and they set things up for season 2 to be coming out. I don't know when, later this year, I guess. Carol said she watched Silo and The Bear. Both good. Yep, I recommend both of them. And if you haven't seen Carol if you haven't seen From yet, but I think you have. But From, Silo, and The Bear are all good shows. So I don't know, like I said, I keep saying I don't know where stuff is going, because what is the point of the Daryl and Carol show? What is the point of 3 seasons of that? Just to have them do other stuff? That's okay. Like, it's fine. But the fact that Rick went away and he's still alive, we need to see Rick and Daryl and Carol and Michonne and whoever else makes sense to fit in to do stuff. Right? Like, we need that. I mean, we don't need it, but we need it, you know? And so I believe the reviewers have got the first 3 to 4 episodes now of The Ones Who Live. And nothing but good things is what people are saying. And I think it's going to be a good show. Like, I have high hopes for it. I'm going to have to manage my expectations. I have to keep them somewhat grounded. But I'm hoping it's good. Like, I'm hoping it's good. The cast is good. If you have a good cast and good writing, there you go. That's all you need. They're putting $13 million in an episode. Every episode. At least $13 million, I believe, is the word. Which is a lot of money. It's a ridiculous amount of money. But we don't need big CGI and big explosions and buildings coming down, and Rick and Michonne are supposed to escape this, and they get into the yellow truck and they go there, and it's action-packed, and it's this and that, and blah, 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 blah. Just have good writing, good story. It's impactful. Explain things about the CRM, what Rick's been doing. And I hope the $13 million is money well spent. But again, in 2 weeks, we'll find out. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Does anybody know what movie that's from? I mean, it's maybe other stuff. But it's an 80s movie. I'll give you that. And it's if someone gets it, I'll be impressed. It's an 80s movie, and the main character says, 2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. What are you, a bird? 2 weeks. I'll let people think about it, but let me know in the chat. It's one of my favorite comedies, for sure. Maybe, Wilson, but that's not what I'm thinking. So, Super Bowl party? You going somewhere? At your house? Going to a bar? Restaurant? People coming over? You going somewhere? You know? I'm going to be at the house with my wife, Milo and Otis, watch the game, make some food. I bought Mark Wahlberg's tequila, Flecha Azul. I had a good deal at Publix. And so I was like, well, let's check it out. Why not? So I'll have some of that. I'm not a big drinker by any means, but, check it out. How about you guys? What are you having? You barbecuing, wings, pizza, burgers, hot dogs, nachos. Like, what do you got? What's going on for your food for the Super Bowl? Brian asks, Q&A, you think after 8 years, Rick would have made a few friends? I hope so, right? So Rick needs friends. Like, Rick could probably have Pearl Thorne as his friend, as ally. He's going to have some people that way. Some other characters. Does Jadis help him? Does Jadis still feel that she has to help him? Like, how did Jadis rank up so much? Last time we saw her on The Walking Dead, she was a nobody. She was in Rick's group. Rick helped her, saved her. Okay? Then Jadis saved Rick. So, are they even now? Are they good? Will Jadis help Rick get away? I'm assuming she's going after them because of the yellow truck, and we know that's Rick and Michonne are in that yellow truck. And then Jadis is chasing that. But, what do we think? Carol Q&A, what would be the point of Carol and Daryl staying in France? They need to go meet with Rick and Michonne. I think that's what viewers want to see. I agree. I totally agree, Carol. I don't know what's the point of Daryl and Carol saying that, you know? I don't know what is the point of them staying in France for any extra time. I don't know what they're doing. But I'm kind of excited to find out. I think there is a Rick and Michonne Ones Who Live something on Facebook and YouTube today at halftime. So I might have to watch that. I know Usher is performing. I like Usher, and we'll have to see if Usher is going to bring out, Justin Bieber, Alicia Keys, Ludacris, Lil Jon. Like, a lot of people are thinking those people are going to show up for Usher. Did you guys know that Usher has a residency in Las Vegas at MGM? Like, I had no idea that. But he does, evidently. Jonathan, what if someone asked Rick, how many walkers have you killed? How many people have you killed and why? Do you think Rick will answer truthfully? That would be pretty cool. Like, if that comes up again, too. So, that would be pretty cool. I think, I don't know, right? I think you have to answer truthfully, right? Yeah, sorry, I just saw his question there, Lindsay. Yeah, like I was watching a thing. I was at the gym last Sunday, and I saw Usher being interviewed by like CBS Morning Show. And he was, I didn't have the sound. I was trying there too. But then they were talking about his residency, and he was on roller skates, and he was this, and they got a stage, and they do these things. I was like, man, that's pretty cool. I didn't know that at all. I think there's a lot of different people who have shows and residencies there that I didn't even think was the thing. But, I'm an East Coast guy. I got the East Coast bias, so I don't know. But in a zombie apocalypse, you got to do stuff to stay alive. You have to be able to do it. So I'm guessing the first episode. So, and like I said, in the first let me go back to that. In the first 3 to 4 minutes, what I have of that. So like it says, per that interview from TV Guide article on February 6th, so 5 days ago. So in the first 3 to 4 minutes of a whole series, there is something truly horrific that happens, Andrew Lincoln said. He compared it to the shocking and horrifying opening minutes of The Walking Dead's pilot, where Rick shoots a zombified little girl, and how it establishes an intense tone for the whole show. So there you go. So does Rick lose his hand in the first 3 to 4 minutes? Because there's already rampant speculation online about something terrible happening to Rick at the release of the trailer. And we've been saying that for a long time. I mean, it doesn't have to happen, but, after several failed escape attempts. So he's been trying to get away. But why would they just kill him then? Right? Like, he's Rick Grimes. Like, I'm probably going to ask that question a lot. Like, why wouldn't they just kill Rick? Why they don't kill Rick? Because he's Rick Grimes and he's important to us. But if someone's trying to escape or lead a revolution or get people together on his side, that person's extremely dangerous. Extremely just what you don't want to have against you. You don't need any more problems. You don't need any there too. Basically a bad employee, right? So if a bad employee is doing enough things over and over and over and over and over again, they get fired. And they're gone. But here at the CRM in a zombie apocalypse, does he get fired? Does he get demoted? I want to know what Rick's job was. Like, so Rick was injured, so he had to be kept alive. Probably surgery or some sort of big medical attention. He recovered for so many months, wakes up in the hospital, gets better. Like I told you before, I would picture that we'll see a scene just like the first episode. So we're going to see the Rick episode, the first episode, pretty much replicated on the show, but little remix. Like if I was writing the show, We need stuff that's familiar to the fans. Don't reinvent the wheel, and don't do the exact same things. Do like a little remix, a little twist. So Rick wakes up in his hospital bed. He looks to his right. There's some flowers. There's a card on it, blah, blah, blah. He doesn't hear anything. He's like, what? He sits up, maybe even gets up, goes to walk to the door, opens the door, goes out into the hallway. But this time, it's a working, busy hospital. Not the same thing as before. And he says, get back to your room, blah, blah, blah. And the nurses help him and whatever. So that's what I think we'll see. I don't know that at all. That's just my guess. That's how I would write it. And then he gets taken care of. He gets a job. He does this. So I don't know. Like, I'm guessing when he's killing the walker with the tool and killing the walker and like banging the thing and all the walkers come to the little like slit where they just kill him. That's like his demoted job, right? After he tries to escape a bunch of times. After he cuts his hand off. But if it's so they're going to play with time a little bit. If it's in the first 3 to 4 minutes, it's going to start with Rick trying to escape or doing something, and then his hand is handcuffed to the CRM person, and he can't get it off. And he probably can't cut the cable because it's too secure, too strong. The axe, the hatchet, whatever is not going to cut that. But what he has to cut is his wrist. He has to cut his hand off, just like Merle. But why didn't Merle use the cutter to cut off the chain of the handcuff instead of his hand? He could have cut through that. Big difference here. And he had the cutter, the saw. Instead, he cut his hand off, remix, like Merle, like Aaron, and now Rick. Potentially, possibly, probably. Zach Dixon, _Masked Ninja. Do you think Major General Beal is going to get killed off in The Ones Who Live, or do you think he will be in the crossover series? So that is what I think would happen, is that if they plan to have more, Major General Beal has to live. Because I don't want Jadis to be the big villain of the big crossover Endgame war style. Like, she could be involved, but I don't want her to be the big bad. I don't want her to be Thanos. I want her to be like one of Thanos' children or people or disciples or whatever. Thanos needs to be Major General Beal. So I don't know what the plan is. I don't know if Gimple knows what the plan is. I don't know if they know what they're doing for the future of it. But I hope it's successful. I hope it does well, just so they can put more time, energy, and effort into it. You know, we're living in an era now that shows, streaming services, production companies, networks, whatever, you have to have your own stuff. Like, there's a lot of competition out there. We just don't have ABC, NBC, Fox, and CBS. We got a bunch of stuff, and people are getting rid of cable. People just have Netflix. People just have Amazon, just have Hulu, or just have this stuff. So you have to have shows just for that. Like Netflix has its own shows. Amazon has its own stuff. Hulu, Peacock, Max, Disney Plus, Apple Plus, Apple TV, whatever. That's like at least 7 different things, streaming services, that have their own shows, stories, movies, all that stuff. So I'm hoping that The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live, Paramount Plus, exactly, another one. Yeah. See, there's even more than I think. I'm not even mentioning them all. You have to have your own stuff. Tulsa King, let me give you an update speaking of Paramount Plus. Tulsa King, that is starred in, I think, produced or whatever, that Sylvester Stallone is in, is going to film the 2nd season in Atlanta, Georgia. They filmed the 1st season in Oklahoma. Tulsa, Oklahoma is where it was supposed to be filmed. And actually, the story is, and I think they filmed some stuff there. I don't know how much, but they filmed some stuff there. Now, the 2nd season, the word is that they're moving to Georgia and Atlanta. From when I watched the thing about Sylvester Stallone, they were living in California, but also Palm Beach in Florida. I believe they were moving and selling their house in California and probably moving to their house in Palm Beach, Florida. So you probably want to stay in and around Florida, Georgia, around that spots too, and fly up and down the East Coast. Much easier than California to there too. So, because I know one of his daughters was going to the University of Miami, so much easier to see there and be there real quick, East Coast style, inside it too, up and down the East Coast. So, Ashley Q&A. So during halftime, are you gonna show the ones who live live stuff like from Facebook? And well, no, that you have to be on their own stuff, Ashley. So you have to go to their YouTube channel or Facebook page or something. I don't know. I think it's a sneak peek. I don't know exactly what it is. I believe it's a sneak peek of the ones who live is what they're going to do for halftime. But I'll probably check it out. I don't know. I'm not going to go live or anything, but I'll have to see if it's worth talking about. If it's kind of something kind of cool, then maybe I break it down and share it. So, but, I'm excited. 2 weeks, guys. We are 2 weeks away. So the following weekend, next weekend, I'll be back for the live stream. And then, of course, I'm going to do a live stream that Sunday for the ones who live. Because, I'm hoping that the show is good. The episodes are good. The stuff is cool. We can talk about it, break it down a little bit more. So that's why I'm trying to really get Fight for Us at the End. I'm really trying to get this book done and published, paperback and Kindle, digital on Kindle. So I don't have to worry about that. So I can get this done, and then when that, I can move on to having my extra time. Because it's tough, man. Like, to have all these extra... Not so much time, but I don't have time. That's the thing, is I have to wake up, go to my job, be there from 8:30 to 5:30, come home, sometimes go work out, come this, do that. And then if I can make a video or two instead of editing the chapter, that's where I'll try to spend some of my time too. Diana Q&A, Rick cuts his off for what reason? I'm guessing, Diana, it's because we've had a video a while ago now, for months ago, when they were filming, because they were filming last February. A year ago, they were starting to film or about to film too. So there's a picture of Rick with a thing around his wrist and then a cable that goes to a CRM soldier. It's on his left wrist. And we're guessing that the CRM soldier dies and becomes a walker, and Rick is trying to get away, and he can't get away because he's connected to the walker. He's handcuffed with this cable, and he has to cut his hand off instead of the cable because he probably can't cut through it because it's too tough. It's metal, not skin, bone, flesh, ligament, all that stuff, tendon, bone. Is either cut through than metal. And so that's why we're thinking it happens. But we'll see. Brian, did you know Elton and Chris were cousins? Like in real life or like on the show? Because I didn't know either of that too. So, but there you go, guys. So hopefully you guys are having a good weekend and you're doing well. We're already into February 11th. Like once we get through January, February is a shorter month. Then it'll be March, April, May. Once The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live ends, which will be like February, March. Because I think, let's see, let's do the time. Because I think it's done in March. So the 25th is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, March 31st, if they go in order, is 6 weeks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So come April, we're done with The Ones Who Live. Yeah, it's leap year. There's 29 days. So we got that extra day in February. But it's still 29 instead of 30 or 31 days. So it'll be March before you know it. And we'll be underway watching The Ones Who Live. And then I don't know when the next show is going to... I don't know when the Daryl show is going to... you're welcome, Diana. I don't know when the Daryl, because there's nothing else there, right? Like there's no other shows. It was The Ones Who Live, which will be done. Dead City couldn't film because of the strikes and the weather and the this and the that. So they're going to film in Massachusetts next month, I believe. So that'll be probably the big talk about the production of the Dead City season 2 and Daryl Dixon season 3. So I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe from everything I'm reading real fast is that the Daryl Dixon show is season 3 is still going to be in France. Because if he's still in France, like what you doing there, man? Are you just staying there? Are you never coming back? Because I hope you come back. 2 weeks. So nobody got the 2 weeks reference. So I'll give you another hint. It's an 80s movie. It's a comedy. And I'll go with it. It stars Tom Hanks. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. So let's see if anybody gets it with those hints. 2 weeks. So Z Incognito says, Rick will not cut off his own hand. 1, that would be pretty stupid. 2, the axe that he uses in the forest was used on walkers, so why would he use it on himself? We shall see. Close, Ashley. No, close. I like where your thoughts are. It's an earlier movie, I believe, in his there too. It's about a home remodel movie. So it's not Big, but good guesses. I love Big, by the way. I love that. I used to love that movie when I was little. I think Tom Hanks is one of my favorite actors. Like I love Tom Hanks in like almost every role that he's in. No, not Turner and Hooch. Again, no, the Burbs. You're getting close, Ashley. You're naming some good there. There you go. Lindsay got it. Lindsay got it right there. The Money Pit. Because he buys this house, and it's for a deal, and blah, blah, blah. And it's a good deal, and they get a contractor in, and he says, yeah, how long will it take? And it's like a major remodel. Like it's a lot of work. And he says, 2 weeks. And then Tom Hanks can't believe it. He's like, 2 weeks? And he's like, yeah, 2 weeks. What are you, a bird? 2 weeks. And it takes way longer than 2 weeks, which is laughable because if you've ever had Money Pit, that's right, JK. If you ever had a house remodel project, like a bathroom or a kitchen or whatever, putting down floors or whatever, and the contractor or whatever, they always give you a time. They always give you a time frame. Yeah, it'll take this, it'll take that. And it's rarely ever on track, and it finishes on time. Shelley Long, yeah, she's the other actress in there. I'm telling you, it's hilarious. If you haven't seen The Money Pit, and you like Tom Hanks, Mr. Mom is Michael Keaton, not Tom Hanks. I like Mr. Mom too. I love Michael Keaton too. They're great. But if you've never seen Money Pit, I highly recommend it. It's hilarious. It's just thinking about it. There's a thing with the turkey that it's so stupid, but it's funny. It's just so funny. It's like boop. just thinking about it just cracks me up. You know, it's good there too. Jonathan Wilder, do you think there will be a surprise season 12 with everyone who left? Blah, blah, blah. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if their plan is for that. We don't need a season 12 per se, but if it's like a abbreviated season, I don't know. Like, I don't need a season 12. I just need a resolution final thing. If they want to call it season 12, that's fine. I don't know how else they're going to do it. I really don't know. Now, at least with the comic ended years before the main show did. Right? Yeah, that's fine. I appreciate it. There says, I love you, and the worst thing about the Walking Dead main show ending was less content from yourself. Yeah, I mean, I would have. I wish I started earlier. Like, I wish I started in season 5, because it would have been a whole year earlier, and we would have probably reached a bigger audience and hit those goals, and still hit that 100,000 subscribers. But I'll still be talking about the Walking Dead universe on there too. But the other message about this channel is one of like positivity and working hard and doing just being a person that is hardworking, nice, but not a pushover. And I try to be that myself, and I would want people to be that way too, that I work with and that have your back and want to work hard and do well. And I like people that want to do things, I know my intro off by heart, and my girlfriend hates it. Well, that sucks. Hopefully you understand what it is. One eyebrow, also known as PT. You don't know if I'm winking or blinking, but I'm definitely thinking about the Walking Dead universe. So, I didn't give my name One Eyebrow, and I also changed it to the letter I, not the eyeball, because I spelled my name with an I and not a Y. So I'm One Eyebrow. Instead of one, that way is what I did. And a subscriber years ago gave me the nickname of that, just because my name is Brian, and the name from Mitch from season 4 of The Walking Dead, and it just fit too. So, Jonathan Wilder Q&A: what channel would allow the sick stuff that happens in the comics under TV? I'm like, well, HBO and Showtime and any of that stuff too. The extra. There too, so thank you. So is it like QWERTY Owen? QWERTY Owen? Like how would you say the name? QWERTY Owen? But and hopefully like your girlfriend doesn't like hate the channel and hate there too, but it's just funny. And ultimately, guys, hopefully you guys are doing well, and I try to be positive and educational and fun and exciting and entertaining and all that stuff too. But, I try to motivate you to do stuff, even if it's like small stuff. We all want to be rich and have a lot of things and do well and have a lot of, great experiences and material possessions and all that stuff too. But, I want you to be happy, and that's a matter of perspective, and that's a matter of perception. Like I can be happy sitting at home doing nothing and just relaxing, or finally getting some sleep that I'm so deprived of, I guess, right? But, having a good meal with your friends and family, seeing a friend, seeing a family member, talking with someone you haven't seen in a while. It's just like, it's fun. It's a good thing to look at those too. And like before, I was younger, I wanted to have a big old house and a bunch of cars and a boat and this, or a bunch of homes and all that stuff things do. And I'm like, no, it doesn't. When you get older, you have different priorities, or at least you should, right? Like, I just want to have enough money to pay my bills and be able to have, time. I would love, so we'll see where this book series goes, but I would love to be more dedicated to my writing, because it's a good release. It's a good art form. It's a good escape. And that's why we watch the shows like The Walking Dead or whatever. It's for escapism. Some people get into it too much. But escapism is what we are at. Some people, like my mother-in-law, she loves Hallmark. She loves the Hallmark shows and the Hallmark Channel and those same holiday movies. And that's okay. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. It's escapism. It's a good way to get out of reality, because sometimes life breaks you down, and it's tough, and it's stressful, and it's annoying. But the big thing about it is you can make through it. You can make through anything. You can get through anything. You can make it through any hardships. Life's all not good and not all bad. Got ups and downs and all arounds and ebbs and flows, and you can make through it. You can get through it. I know you can. I've been through some tough times. 9 years ago, I was in a different place than I am now. But I'm happy, and I value things more. I value stuff after the hardships I've gone through. And hopefully you have too. And you're going to go through some hardships. But you try the best you can. And that I try to highlight that in the book series too a little bit. I try to have things that help me and work for me and everything like that. And you do the best you can with it. But, sometimes just hopefully if I can help one person make it through this when you're going through tough times with family and friends and just everything. It's a fictional thing, but the mindset of some of the stuff is pertinent. At least I hope it is. Let me see. Last couple questions here for our last 5 minutes. Jonathan Wilder, what's more important, the Super Bowl or WrestleMania? Well, I mean, it's a matter of perspective. They're both big forms of entertainment. I can't rank more importance. I would say Super Bowl because I would think Super Bowl brings in way more money and revenue to the city than WrestleMania. And even though WrestleMania is going to bring in a lot of money and people travel to it, it's a matter of perspective. Both are wanted and they're good things, and they're both great forms of entertainment. Diana, Q&A to go off topic. Have you heard anything about a Supernatural season 16? I have not. I'm not into really Supernatural. Diana, I haven't heard anything about that too. Chris, are you getting the Daryl Dixon season 1? No, I don't buy any of the actual physical copies anymore. I just have it digitally or through streaming services. I'm trying to declutter. I'm trying to get rid of stuff. I put some stuff on eBay. I got rid of some things. I had to take some things down, put them back up, and just trying to clear some stuff out of my man cave. I have like so many boxes in there, like just empty boxes. So eventually I'm just going to try to sell stuff like in my driveway, just $20 for the entire box. Just take it all. Just get rid of it kind of a thing, But I'm not there yet. Heart of Nixie, if you were rich enough to have a big house, what would you want that house filled with? Friends and love, the things you don't have. You don't have to have money to have. Yeah, I don't know. Like I would love to visit. Like I would love to travel. Like I don't want a big house to have all my friends and family here because you know what they say about, house guests and leftovers. After a couple of days, they start to stink. And I'm like, all right, I'm ready to get out of here. But if we could travel and go to hotels or have our own spaces and do all that, that would be where it's at. To go to have fun, go on cruises and stuff like that together. And if I had enough money, then obviously I would pay for stuff, But I don't, Big house is a lot to clean, that's for sure. Jonathan Wilder again. When are you going to redecorate your wall behind you? I don't know. Like, I'm liking it the way it is. And I don't know what else I would put up. I still like the Game of Thrones guys up there, and of course the Walking Dead stuff and the Walkers and Peter Griffin behind me. So if you guys are playing Fortnite now, you can play as Peter Griffin. Like he's like skinny Peter. He's not like fat Peter Griffin, but it's cool. I play as Raphael on Fortnite. I have all the Ninja Turtles. I had this. I save up my V-Bucks that I get from the Battle Pass, and I just bought all the Ninja Turtles. I had to do it. Vox Guitars Rock. Q&A, is Dog ever going to make a real? I hope so. I hope Dog shows up in season 2. And I thought the word was that he was coming around in season 2 of the Daryl Dixon show. I hope Dog is with Carol. And I hope they show up together. Brian, Q&A, do you think people are expecting too many reunions? I think so. Like I'm not expecting reunions because I don't think they're going to happen based on filming and potential spoilers and all that stuff too. But I'm thinking people are thinking that we're going to have a Morgan, Rick reunion. Daryl's going to show up. Negan's going to show up. Carol. All these people are going to show up, which is understandable, but I don't think it's going to happen in season 1. I don't dare. Phantom Deluxe says, good night, Bri. Well, good night, Phantom Deluxe. Hopefully you're all right and just going to get some sleep based on the time zones. Yeah. JOP, what potential spoilers are there for the ones who live? We have a bunch of videos talking about that, about, Rick and Michonne going here, possibly going to Yellowstone, Rick losing his left hand, I don't know, he's trying to escape, there's a lot of things like that, but, I don't know of any major spoilers like Major General Beale dies or Rick dies or this happens or that. There's no major spoilers about that. Zach Dixon _ Masked Ninja. Do you think the crossover series is going to be a movie series or show? I don't know. I mean, I know they try to do a movie, but movies are like dying, man. Like, when's the last time you went to a movie theater? You know, I have a lady, I have a patient now in therapy. She goes to the movies every Tuesday because it's $5 Tuesdays. So she goes with her friends to see a movie for $5, which is a great deal. But how much money are they making on Tuesdays? And when she goes, she says they're empty. So I'm like, I don't know how much money is actually being made there. The bigger money is in the shows, like the TV shows, the series that way on AMC and AMC Plus. Do all that too. So, all right, guys, that's my time. Enjoy the Super Bowl tonight. Hopefully your team wins. If you got some bets, hopefully you win. If you're doing fantasy football in one way, shape, or form, hopefully you win. But last questions here. Jonathan Water, Q&A. What do you think Rick's reaction should be if Negan and Maggie hook up? One of shock and awe. Vox Guitars rocks. Vox Guitars rock. Q&A, will Rick's brother make an appearance? There's been no talk about Rick's brother at all. You know, can't do it there too. So, all right, guys, that's my time, and I'll be back next Sunday to talk about any other news about the Walking Dead universe. Hopefully there's some big thing at halftime. Again, check out the YouTube channel of The Walking Dead on Facebook and YouTube, I believe, at halftime of today, the Super Bowl, and there should be some sort of, I don't know if it's a sneak peek or something of The Ones Who Live. But remember, guys, with hard work, dedication, belief, and sacrifice, you can truly achieve your goals. Believe in sacrifice. You can do it no matter what it is. I'll be back next Sunday, and enjoy the Super Bowl.